morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Play with Andi. Today we are going to learn about a new topic. You may have heard it before, but we are going to talk about invitation to play. So I know many of you are at home a lot. You may have little ones that aren't able to go to preschool, or mom and dad are working from home. We've got babies home with us all the time. So sometimes our toys can get kind of boring. And I think as parents and educators, we have to think of ways to make things exciting again. So that's where we introduce invitation to play. So it's basically taking your same old toys and thinking of new ways to use them, or setting them up in a way that is interesting and exciting to a young child. So the first one I have to show you today is, I like to call it animal rescue, but I didn't have any animals, so I'm actually using little figurines, but you can use whatever things you have around your house. So what I did is, ahead of time, I took all my little figurines from my different play sets that I have, and I taped them to a table with masking tape. Can you see it? They're all taped on there. And you can have this set up. A lot of times if you're thinking about this from a home perspective, think about maybe setting it up at bedtime after your child goes to sleep and you have a few minutes in the evening. You can think about an activity for them to do in the morning and set something like this up. Or maybe during lunchtime while they're in their high chair eating, you could go and set something like this up, so then when they're finished eating, they have something exciting to do next. So the reason I've taped all my figures to a table is most children love tape. And this is a fun way to explore tape. They can practice peeling the tape off and rescuing your figures. They can also tape them back down. Often when I would do this in my classroom or with my own children, I would set it up where it was all taped down, and then after they finished kind of exploring this activity, I would give them the roll of tape and allow them to tape things down, practice tearing, sticking. There's a lot of skills that you can learn just from a simple activity like this. So think about how you could set up this invitation to play. The next one I'm going to talk to you about is sensory tubs. Now, I know many of you have done a rice bucket or a bean box or whatever, and a lot of times it's kind of scary because it's messy. So there's a few solutions I have for that. First off, you don't have to put a ton in the box, just maybe a half a cup or so there's not a ton to spill. It's a great opportunity to practice not dumping. It seems like all little children with Down syndrome love to throw things over their shoulders. But this is a great opportunity to practice not doing that. Another solution is to use a round plastic tablecloth or maybe a blanket. You can put that down underneath so that when it's time to finish playing, you can just roll it up and dump everything back in the bucket. Okay, so what I have for you today to show you is, I have this awesome Rubbermaid tub. I got it at Walmart, I think, and it's like a 9x13 cake pan. And the reason I like this one is it has a really nice lid, so I can set up my activity, put the lid on it, let the child play with it. When they start getting bored, I can put the lid on, put it up, maybe for a few days, and then I can get it out again and it's new and fresh. So that's another way to talk about invitation to play, is if we have all the toys out all the time, sometimes our children get bored of those toys. So it's important to rotate things in and out so that things become new and fresh. Have you ever had that time where you were cleaning your child's bedroom and they have all these toys and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of them. They've never played with them for months. And you get them out to put them away or to give them to Goodwill or to donate them. And all of a sudden they are the coolest, neatest toys. And you're children, please don't get rid of those, Mom. Well, it's the same thing. They haven't seen them in a while, so it becomes new and exciting again. Okay, back to my sensory bit. So I just have a plastic Rubbermaid tote. It's not very big. It would fit on a high chair or at a table. And then I bought some popcorn, and you can just put, not too much. You can just put a little bit in there. And then you can offer different types of things to scoop and pour and play. I have all the traditional stuff, measuring cups. I have my really cute little tiny measuring cups, and they can scoop and pour and dump. All kids love to dump. I don't know what it is. I also got out some little measuring spoons. So when you first introduce this activity, I recommend keeping it very simple. Cups, spoons, things to dump and pour. then in order to expand something like this, you could add things like seasonal colored pom-poms. So this month with Valentine's Day, you could put red and pink pom-poms, or maybe some little plastic hearts. Think outside the box. Is ringing in the middle of my video. I'm so sorry. That's the one bummer about being live and using your phone, is you never know what's gonna happen. No big deal. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. So you can expand that activity with just ordinary things around the house. So I have this super awesome wine tumbler. My friend Barbara made it for me. It says mine on it. But what I like about this cup is it has a really small hole where your drink would come out. So having something like this to increase your activity, and then you can have your child try to put the popcorn in that little bitty hole. This is a great opportunity to practice that pincer grasp. You can also practice one-to-one correspondence with counting, and they can put those little things, and then they can try to dump them out, and they don't come out very easily, but then they can take the lid off, dump and pour. But think about what you have around your house that you can use for an activity like this. I like things that have a really small opening, so they really have to focus to put them in. If you have just a big cup, it's fun for scooping and pouring, and that's a great skill. But if you want to expand it, you want to have something with a smaller hole or a smaller way to expand this. Again, you take this type of activity, put it out for a day or two with the basics, put it away, bring it out with some new exciting things in there. You can continue to take that same set of materials and grow and expand it to keep your child interested in that same activity. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about invitation to play. So you don't have to create new things for invitations to play. You can take your old toys that your child has seen 1,000 times and set them up. So for instance, if your child has a little dollhouse, it's on the shelf and they play with it sometimes, you can take that same dollhouse and maybe set it up in your family room on the floor with all the characters sitting on the furniture. Make it look very inviting so that when your child comes and they will see that toy, it's engaging and exciting to play with. Same thing with maybe a zoo set. You can have the animals set up to play, or maybe line up the cars near the car garage, or set up something for cars to drive down, or road with masking tape on the road. Think of ways to take your same old toys, set them up so it looks exciting, new, and fresh for your child. It's a great way to get them to play, be engaged with new ideas with the same materials. Friends, thank you so much for joining me today for Play with Andi. I hope you learned a little bit, I hope you play a little bit, and I hope you have a fantastic Friday.